Thank you for showing up today. This is Clearing the Lack Matrix, Activating Self-Worth and Wealth. There is a lot of chaos in the world. There is a lot of fear-based thinking. There are just a lot of unknowns. This is a really interesting time. So when I tuned in about a couple weeks ago, I asked my guidance, how could I best serve my community at this time? And I got very clearly, we need to clear lack consciousness in order to be able to move forward, in order to be able to hold ascension frequencies. Ascension frequencies they're higher frequencies, but they're within us and around us all the time. They are states that have us rise above fear and lack and chaos and negativity. And now, of all times, now is the time to rise above and hold these higher frequencies. Number one, for ourselves, but holding these higher frequencies will help all of humanity, all of the animals, all of nature, and Gaia, the earth herself, help all of us ascend together into a higher state of consciousness and a higher reality. So that's really what this is about. It's about clearing out the old ways of thinking, I'm going to get into a little bit about addressing what's going on in the world from a spiritual perspective, what I get from my guidance and what I understand is happening, because there is something big happening right now, and I know probably all of you are feeling it and experiencing it. And so my job as an ascension trainer, as a shaman and a clairvoyant and a psychic and someone who receives divine downloads, is to share this information with you and assist you in moving up and beyond those lower frequencies so that you can be a higher frequency holder too, and so that you can feel good and do the work of your heart and find your purpose and serve in that way. And when we're all doing that, we will have a much higher, much more beautiful fifth dimensional reality. So let's just start with a little bit of an alignment process. If you attended my Alchemy of Ascension Summit, I like to start by getting everyone aligned. So start by just closing your eyes and breathing deeply into your belly. And as you're breathing, bring that breath through your heart center and into your heart. And you might want to put a hand over your heart center if that helps. Just bringing your presence into your heart with your breath and feeling what it feels like to drop into the heart center. And just notice what's there in your heart at this moment. And whatever it is, if you're experiencing some fear or upset, that's okay. Just to notice it, let it be, don't judge it. And take a breath and release any tension that you might be holding or feeling. And as you're breathing and releasing tension, know that you're doing this for more than yourself. You are also doing this for anybody that's in your household, your friends, your family, the animals, the collective consciousness. You're doing this for the entire planet and all of humanity. So really just let yourself release and breathe into your heart. And now connect your consciousness, your awareness to a source of light above your head. You can think of it about 200 feet above your head. And this is the source of central sun. And tune in to the heart center, the consciousness, the awareness of the heart of the central sun. And bring that heart frequency of the divine masculine down through the ethers and into the crown of your head, and allow that divine light, the masculine sun energy, to go all the way to the base of your spine and the bottoms of your feet. And then breathe it back up into your heart center, informing your heart with divine light. And now tune your consciousness into the center of the earth. This is the heart of the Mother Gaia, and also the heart of the divine feminine nurturing energy. And breathe that divine feminine light up through the layers of the earth like liquid crystal plasma, moving up like as if it's moving up through roots into the bottoms of your feet and the base of your spine. And then bring it all the way up to the top of your head. And then let that earth energy center in your heart, joining with the light from above and the light within. And now expanding out around your body. And then feel that light expanding to fill the space, the room that you're in, expanding out around the property that you're on, around the town that you're in, and then all the way out around the earth. And as you're doing this, connect your heart to every other person who is listening or watching this at this time and at all future times. And also connect your heart light in with mine so that you may be able to fully receive whatever is for your highest good in this transmission today. Very good. And now bring your consciousness back to your heart and to this present moment, coming back to center, back to full awareness, and now fully present. Go ahead and open your eyes. That feels better. I can feel the connection. So part of my mission is also bringing together community. I know for myself growing up, I always felt different. I had a lot of awareness and experiences that no one else I knew was having. And I would have loved to have had community to talk to and understand, help me know what was going on. And so part of my mission is to create that. And I create that through things like the Alchemy of Ascension Summit. I'll have another one coming up. But also I have a Facebook group. It's called Ascension Training with Wa-shay-la Sananda. So feel free to get in that. I also have a page called wa-shay-la's Insights. I've been I haven't put a lot in there lately, but I'm going to pick that up. But what I really want is just for you to be able to interact with each other, not just me, but with each other, because we are a family of light and we're all raising our consciousness together, and it really helps to have community. And now more than ever, with this social distancing experience that we're having, it's even more important to make sure that you stay connected to other people. It's great to meditate and take time out to go within, absolutely. But it's also really important to keep connected to community and stay connected to like-minded people. So I'm just one of many, many, many people that is doing this type of training, ascension training and consciousness activating. So find your tribe and connect with them, and that will help your process go even more deeply into expansion. All right. I have notes up here. I tend to ramble and get off on tangents sometimes, so I did make myself some notes. So if you see me looking off to the side, I'm reminding myself, okay, what do I definitely want to make sure I talk about? So I did send out a newsletter, I think it was week before last or maybe last week, about taking a news fast. I actually got a ton of replies to that. I think I had about 60 people write me and say, I've already been on a news fast for 2 weeks or 2 months or 2 years or 2 decades. And I was so impressed with that because it's not about not being informed, but you've probably noticed that the news has a lot of negativity in it. And there's actually a frequency in most news sources that you can feel, and it can actually become addictive. We get addicted to certain frequencies. And so when I asked you to detox from the news, if you have been watching it, and see how you feel and see what that does for you. I hope that some people gave that a try just to see what the difference is. And I myself have been on a news fast for decades. But I get all of the news that I need from other people. I do talk to people on a daily basis, and I find that there's no escape from hearing what's going on in the world. And mostly I just don't go looking for it. It tends to find me, and that's fine because it's a much lighter vibe when I'm hearing things from friends and family than when if I was to be watching the news, because you're marinating in that frequency then. So even if you are, someone who needs to stay informed and know what's going on, I understand that, but maybe just reduce the amount of time spent doing that to help you lighten your frequency and extract yourself from fear and the chaos of the world as it is. Okay, so I want to get into talking a little bit about what's happening right now, because I know we're all feeling it. We're all experiencing different things. And okay, did someone just share their screen? Okay. Okay. So yeah, don't share your screen if possible. Okay, so what's happening? This is the cleansing. This is something that's been prophesied for, longer than I've been alive, probably for millennia. This is the time of the earth going, as I mentioned before, from third dimensional consciousness to fifth dimensional consciousness. Gaia is the personality, the goddess that the earth is known as. We call her Gaia. And she is moving, or possibly already has moved, from third dimensional consciousness to fifth dimensional consciousness. Now, she will be taking many of the people with her, and many people will not be going. And that's a personal choice. And it's not a judgment. The people who choose to go are not better. The people who choose not to go are not worse. But there will be things, we've already seen them. There will be things like the ripples that happen from a dimension shift on such a level as a planet, an entire planet changing a dimension. So we already have been experiencing waves and hurricanes and fires and earthquakes and viruses. And it's likely that there will be more of that. But our job as frequency holders, and if you're on this call, I'm going to guess that you are one of the people that came here to be a holder of higher consciousness for this time. Many, many, many of us are here to hold a higher frequency, to help, to assist the planet, to assist humanity, to assist the animals and nature in this transformation into 5D. And so this is the cleansing, and I like to think of it kind of like gravity. It's not judgmental. It's not that anybody's right or anybody's wrong. Gravity works on small children and babies. It works on elderly and everyone in between, animals included, and it's not judgmental. It just is. So if you can get out of, I know we're in a very dualistic way of thinking in our society, and we're in a dualistic reality here in 3D, but 5D moves into more non-judgment, where we're giving up that black and white duality, and it goes into a more flow. and awareness and higher consciousness. So it's not about judging. If somebody you know has the virus, don't judge them. It's not about saying they're bad or wrong. It's just out there. It's like gravity, and it happens. And we just have to support everyone through it and be that light, be that holder of higher consciousness for the whole. We are holding that space. We are holding the container so that others can move up out of the anxiety and the darkness that so many people are experiencing right now. Also, I want to talk about how the dimensions are actually layered. So when I say moving from third dimension to fifth dimension, we as humans are doing that as well, but the dimensions are layered, one on top of another. And so what that means is, I'll take myself as an example. A lot of the time, I'm in fifth dimensional consciousness. I'm experiencing, instant manifestation. I'm experiencing a lot of beauty and a lot of just amazing, mystical, magical experiences in my life. But I do have shifts where I go down in frequency. I go back to the third dimensional way of being. I go back to, I do get caught up in negative thinking. I'm fortunately able to catch myself doing that and correct it. And I also teach people to do that. And I've had wonderful teachers help me learn to do that. So it's not about, again, not about judging yourself when you dip down. It's about catching it, becoming aware. Oh, look where I just went, or look how that triggers me. And even just like celebrating that, oh, hey, I just noticed that. That's great. Because when you know that you're experiencing it and when you notice it, you can course correct and you can bring yourself back up. And that takes commitment. I know it's not easy to stay in a high vibration when the world and the people around you are not there. Sometimes you're going to have to remove yourself from relationships or from work environments or from, certain places that bring your frequency down. It's just part of the process, but it's so important now more than ever to bring yourself up and learn to hold those higher frequencies for more and longer periods of time. And as you do that, eventually you will be able to hold your frequency in the fifth dimensional consciousness and above for indefinitely, forever. And when you're able to do that, you are then really truly living a fifth dimensional experience. And as I said, so again, just a little more about the layers, the dimensions being layered on top of each other. That's why, someone from a really high, like you've heard of ascended masters, they can come and they can go. Mediums can pick up people that are actually, in a different dimension of reality and talk to them as if they're right there. Clairvoyance can see all different types of entities and beings. And it's as if now the veils get thinner, and the higher up you go, as you move into a more fifth dimensional consciousness, you're going to see more and more clairvoyantly. So you might start seeing celestial beings, angels, ascended masters, even ET beings and light beings, starships. Any number of things can show up, and there's no right or wrong thing to be seeing. And if you're not seeing that, that's fine. You don't have to be. But if you do, I'm just telling you this, that is part of, for many people, not for everyone, part of ascending your consciousness. The veils between the dimensions become less, they remove themselves, they become less thick, in a sense. So it's like that curtain gets pulled back and suddenly you can see more and you can feel more. And the more you get into your heart, the more you experience the opening of the heart center, the more you will feel, the more you will experience, and the more present you will become. And then the more you'll be able to hold these higher frequencies. So hopefully that makes sense about the layers of dimensions. And if it doesn't, I'm going to leave time for some Q&A at the end. So you can, if you have questions as I go along, just jot them down so that you can ask me at the end. I do want to speak a little bit about the beings, so many of us, and I know a lot of you on this call, if not everyone on this call, we are multidimensional beings. And many of us did not start out on the earth. We are what they call star seeds. Star seeds are consciousness originated elsewhere and came here because there was a call that the earth put out to many beings from other places, but from higher dimensions, to ask for assistance in this time that's happening right now. This is actually what we came here for. This is why we are here, to help this transformation happen. And so many of us experience this. When we've come from, those of us who've come from higher dimensions of reality, there was no need for money there. In the higher dimensions, it gets less and less dense. People don't need food and clothing and houses and cars and things. As you move up in dimension, something's going on with my battery. I think I'm not supposed to talk about this. Oh, it came out. Okay. My battery just unplugged. I don't know. Okay, sorry about that. So, okay, my computer's being funny. Anyway, sorry about that. So as we, some of us, those of us that came from the higher dimensions, we didn't have a need for money. We didn't have a need for any of that. So when we came to this dimension and have this experience, it's so dense here for so many of us. That's why we feel like we don't belong here. That's why we feel out of place, or like, what am I doing here? You know, like, who are these people, and where's my real family, right? I know a lot of people, a lot of you have felt that way, as I have. And because we have a memory of being somewhere that was much more, or much less dense, and much more light, and much more fluid, and we didn't need money there. And so what happens is we're susceptible to lack consciousness, or feeling like we're not going to be provided for, because where we came from, everybody shares. First of all, we don't need all these things, and we don't, there's no need for money. We don't use money in the higher dimensions. So that is very much a third dimensional construct. In the fifth dimensional, yes, there's exchange of energy, but less so in the form of money the way it is now. And there is a more equal division of resources. The third dimension has a lot of incongruency in who has and who hasn't, and that's just not something that happens in higher awareness, higher dimensions of consciousness. So that is why the lack matrix, or one reason why lack consciousness is pervasive in the light workers. So you probably know, maybe you're a light worker, maybe you're on your path of service, and you might be someone who struggles with money, because we've been told as light workers, you're not supposed to get paid for using your spiritual gifts. But this is a lie. That is just a false program. It's not true. We're actually supposed to be doing our service work from our heart. We're supposed to be activated and serving our purpose. And in whatever way that is, we're doing what makes us happy. And it's perfectly fine to do that as a career and get paid for it. And it's actually much higher service to do that work full time and be absolutely 100% of service here on the third going to fifth dimension, so that you can be a full-time helper doing what you love and being happy and putting those higher frequencies into all the work that you do, versus going to a 9-to-5 that you're not in love with, and then just doing your spirit work or your service work as a hobby, because then it's just getting a little tiny piece of you versus all of you. And so I really want to let that go. The idea that we can't get paid for our spiritual work, that's just a myth and a false program. And it's really important now more than ever for the light workers to value what we do, to value the service that we are here to provide. And I'm not telling you, if you like your job and you have a 9 to 5, I'm not judging that. That's great. Good for you. Stay there if you love it, if it makes your heart happy, whatever it is, if it's accounting or, yard work, it doesn't matter. If it makes you happy, then that's what you're supposed to be doing, because your joy you'll be able to share that frequency with everyone you come in contact with and the places that you go. It's if you're not loving your job and you're just doing something to make money to get the bills paid, when really in your heart you want to be doing your true service work, your true purpose, that's where there really needs to be a shift. And I really want you to know your work is so valuable. Please start doing it and allow yourself to, money is energy. It's an energetic exchange. Allow yourself to get paid for doing your service work, your spiritual work, whether it's energy work, healing work, massage, holistic health, wellness, whatever it is that speaks to your heart. Lots of us are going into trainings and coachings. Let yourself be rewarded and have an energy exchange for that. Your clients will also receive more when they're paying for it. Is somebody unmuted? Hearing a little background noise. Okay. All right, is that better? Can you guys hear me? Hopefully I didn't mute myself. Just say yes if you can still hear me. Okay, great, thank you. Thank you. Okay, just wanna make sure I'm staying on track and not muting myself. Okay, let me look, because I just will ramble. So I wanna make sure that I'm using our time to the absolute best. And I also wanna make sure I cover everything that I think is super important. Okay, light workers, I got some news for you. And this might affect all of you, so you don't have to be just like doing Reiki to have this experience. Right now is a time where a lot of lower, somebody else might have just come in. I don't know why they don't stay muted, but okay, I think we're good. You can hear me? Okay, thank you. So there are a lot of lower frequency entities. These are what we would call dark entities, negative spirits, ghosts, demons, whatever you want to call them. They are coming up. It's almost like they're bubbling up from below, which is really just a lower dimension of reality that's layered on ours, and we're normally not aware of them. But they're coming up to be crossed into the light right now. And I think this is why a lot of hypnosis practitioners are going into helping entities clear from people. It's a time where light workers are seeing, our clients sometimes will show up with an attachment. We'll call it an attachment. So what can happen is these lower frequency beings or beings of the dark will attach to, sometimes to light workers, sometimes to people that are going to light workers, because what they really want is to be cleared and given permission to go to the light. And here's the thing, they don't believe in themselves. They are the ultimate unworthy. Like they believe that they are dark. They believe that they are negative. They believe that they are bad. And it's the only thing that they know how to be. It's the only thing they know how to do. So we can't judge them. We have to help them clear. I have had a number of them showing up lately, and I can recognize them. They have a certain frequency. It's a fear vibration. It's a lower frequency. And here's the really, really important thing to know. love opens all doors. This is so important. They might be showing up to you in the night and you think, why are they attacking me? They're not attacking you. They're looking for love and light so that they can cross over. This is our opportunity to help them. They will not hurt you if you project love to them. So here's one technique that's really worked beautifully for me. I had to learn this because I've had these types of visitations, usually not dark entities, very occasionally that would happen, but from childhood. And I had to learn not to be afraid because I would go into fear, my adrenaline would kick in and I'd freak out. And that's a natural human reaction when you're confronted with something you don't know or understand. So what a very wise teacher told me was to practice getting into your heart and projecting love when these things show up. And when you get into your heart and project love from there, there are a couple different things that might happen. Number one, if it is a being of the light that just startled you, it will project love back to you and you'll feel it and you'll be like, oh, I have nothing to worry about here. It's a beautiful being of the light. If it is not a being of the light, if it's a negative entity and you project love at it, it will probably be uncomfortable. A lot of times they'll just leave if you do that. If it happens in the night and you're unprepared for it, I find that's the best way to handle it. But you have to practice that because you can't go from fear to love just, in no time. You have to practice that. So practice in the daytime when the lights are on, projecting love and to anything that you see. You can do this with people too. And then when it happens, if it happens when, at night or when you're not expecting it, then again, you can get there much more easily if you've practiced it. So you project love. Love will make them either uncomfortable where they'll go away, or they might feel invited toward you. And if that happens, that's a good thing. You want to tell them that they have the opportunity now to cross into the light. And if they show up in a client or with a client of yours on your healing table, this is how to handle it. You can tell your client straight up, I'm recognizing an attachment with you. Attachment's not a scary word for most people. That's a preferable word to use. I'm recognizing an attachment that might not be for your highest good. And I'd like to do a little process to help that attachment find the light, find its way back to the light. And so you speak directly to that attachment and you tell it, okay, I recognize that you've come to me to cross into the light and that this is your time and your opportunity to go. And usually they're not going to believe that they're worthy of crossing into the light because who knows how long they've spent in the darkness. So you let them know you're worthy of crossing into the light. This is your time and your opportunity. You are forgiven. Let them know that you're forgiven and that they're not going to be judged when they cross over. One of the things is they're afraid of being judged because they've been told that they would be judged. And maybe something very, even worse would happen to them when they attempt to cross over. So let them know you're not going to be judged when you cross into the light. And then call in their loved ones, call in their lineage, and let them know your lineage is here to support you and surround you. Can you see your loved ones around you? And, even if you don't hear them, you don't have to hear them. You can get a feeling experience of what's going on. If you're aware that it's there, you'll have some way of interacting and exchanging with it. Even if you're not hearing, it doesn't matter if you're hearing it speak or anything like that. You don't have to. Just know that this is a process that you're going through. Let it know its loved ones are there, and then let it know the angelic realm is there to support it and help it cross over. And then let it know that there's a portal of light, and you can imagine a portal of light opening up, and that being is escorted through by its angels. And you will feel it. You'll feel the difference when it goes. You can feel it when it's there. You'll be able to feel it when it's gone. And then ask it. This is an important piece too. And I'm going to make a recording of this as a meditation to offer the community because I think it's so important right now. But then you want to tell it, As it's gone across the veil, you'll feel the lightening. It'll lighten up and your client will lighten up. And ask it to take any residual energies that it's left behind with the person, if it's your client, with your client. Ask it to remove any residual energies that it's left there that are not serving the highest good of your client and all involved. And then just bless it on its way and say you're released into the light. Thank you for whatever teachings you provided, and release, just let it go. And then feel that removal, just feel it go. And then with your mind, close that portal and feel the full crossover. And if you're good at this, and if you start to do this, it might happen, more than once. If you absolutely don't want to do it, you don't have to. I'm telling you this because a lot of light workers are experiencing this at an increased level now. And I think it's really important to know, it's not your client, it's something, attached to them that needs to be crossed over. So if you want more advice or an understanding on that, reach out to me. I'm happy to share more. I am going to make a recording for the light workers to be able to then you can just put headphones on your client and say, listen to this, and I'll do the whole crossover. Yes, you're welcome. We got some thank yous in the chat. So I really wanted to address that. And now I do have an activation and a meditation I want to get into really soon. Part of what I teach in Ascension training, and I'm going to talk about right now, is the golden column of light. So this is a divine light technology that you can fortify around you. This is going to protect you, by the way, from any of those negative interactions and entities, especially if you're an empath and you tend to soak things up, or take things on, and you walk out into the world and you just absorb everybody's everything. A lot of empaths shut down because of that. It's actually a superpower to be an empath. It's a very, very powerful thing to be able to feel, but you don't want to be able to feel everybody's everything. That's not your job. You're not empaths are like sponges. I like to say, sponges are all, they have lots of holes, but they fill up with everybody's junk, and we got to squeeze that sponge out and then hold space for it not to soak up all that negativity, or if you do, to be able to squeeze it out. So the golden column of light is a divine light technology. You can imagine it like a pillar of light, like a tube of golden shimmering divine light around your body. And this is really like a tube of protection for you. And you can bring this in, and I'm hearing the word fortify it, make it stronger. With every meditation, you can just put yourself in the center of it, imagine that it's there, and then as you get good at this, it will expand out around you, and you will have this column of light that is always with you. And then you can have that, you can put it in place before you go out into the world, before you go to the store, before you go to a group, a gathering, where you might be picking up a lot of stuff from people. Put that column of light around you, and this is like a reflective, impenetrable, golden tube that negativity just bounces off of. It holds space for you to be yourself and your truth, and open within that container. So it's like a holder of space at a very high level. So that's the golden column of light. And I also talk about the multidimensional portal of the heart, and I call it the diamond, the infinitely faceted diamond light of the heart. So the diamond light, don't think of it as a hard diamond, it's an etheric diamond. It's the essence of reflecting light. It contains all colors of the rainbow, and all colors of way beyond that spectrum. And the infinite facets, you can move into reality. Here's the thing. The heart is a hologram of the divine. Our hearts and the diamond, once the heart is activated, that diamond portal of light in the heart, you can travel in your heart and receive all of the information. You can travel to other places, other dimensions. You can experience everything through Ascension. This is the moving into the heart, and that will have you ascend and hold those ascension frequencies even faster. So it's something to practice with, and it's something in Ascension training that I practice with a lot, and my clients practice with a lot, because it's so important, and it's unlimited. It's truly unlimited. So I'm going to be talking about that a little bit in this meditation. So now it's time. This is an activation meditation, and this is really going to get you into the title of this, Clearing the Lack Matrix, Activating Self-Worth and Wealth. So as I dive into this, what I want you to do is be in a meditative state and just listen with your heart. You're going to just right now just drop into your heart center and listen to these words with your heart and receive them and open to them and allow them to work with you and your consciousness and your energy at whatever way is for your highest good. And it's a physical, like you might feel it. I will be walking you through steps that are visual. If you're not someone who is visual or has good luck with visualization, feel it. Just practice feeling the words. That's enough. Just have the experience. Okay, so just start by closing your eyes. Tune into your heart center and breathe into your heart. And as you're breathing, breathe light all the way to the base of your spine. And let your breath activate the golden column of light around your body. This golden column of light expands out around you to exactly where it's the most comfortable place for you to have it. And this is an etheric, shimmering golden light column that keeps you safe and holds you in a very high frequency. So just get comfortable sitting inside this golden column, breathing into your heart center and allowing yourself to be fully present in your heart. And now I'm going to have you walk down a staircase, and you can just imagine a staircase. I'm going to count you from 5 to 1, and you're going to walk down the stairs. And when you get to 1, you're going to be very deep in your meditation. So number 5, you're at the top stair, beginning to step down. And as you're descending these stairs, you're allowing yourself to sink more deeply into a meditative state, allowing yourself to sink more deeply within your heart, stepping down to 4, feeling yourself relax and allow yourself to be relaxed, stepping down to 3. Good. Just allowing yourself to feel and be present and move down to 2, deeper and deeper into your relaxed state, into your meditative state. And now step all the way down to 1, and you're in a very deeply relaxed meditative space within your portal, within your golden column. And now we're going to step into the portal of the heart. Start by imagining you're moving into a triangular portal in your heart. And as you're moving through this portal, you see the diamond light shimmering and shining in your heart center. And allow yourself to move closer and closer to that diamond light. And as you're moving in fully to your heart center, choose a facet of the diamond and just go ahead and dive deeply into the diamond portal and allow yourself to go in through a facet And then find yourself in a beautiful space, a comfortable space, a space that feels good. And you're in a room within the heart center. And now you can look around and look up. And you'll see that as you look up, there's no ceiling in this room. It's an infinite ceiling or an infinite opening. And it's actually a stargate. And this stargate leads to an ascended truth and a higher version of your being. And on the other side of this portal, this higher version of yourself is waiting for you, to greet you, to bring you to its consciousness with open arms. And so now go ahead and begin to move through that stargate, closer and closer to your higher self. Your divine light consciousness lives there, and it's filled with divine love, purpose, and truth. Feel the presence of your divine truth and your soul's wisdom in this space. Now, in this space, you can see and feel your higher self. This is the highest frequency version of your being. And just feel the radiant light coming off of this high version of who you are. And let yourself absorb that radiant essence. And your higher self is personified as a being, as if it's someone other than you. And feel the essence now of your higher self. It wants to show you your worthiness. You are so worthy. You are worthy of all of the blessings of oneness, all of the blessings of the divine. You are worthy of prosperity. You are worthy of the ascension frequencies and of divine light. You are not separate. You are connected to all that is. You are a part of divinity, of source. And you just chose to have an experience that would make you feel as if you were in separation. But the truth of your being is that you have never been separate. The separation is an illusion so that you can experience your soul's growth. You are now being filled and activated by your soul's wisdom. Open and allow yourself to receive this frequency of your soul's wisdom. And just take a moment to see or feel whatever it is that you're experiencing in this beautiful space, connecting and communing with the wholeness of who you are. Now breathe deeply into this wisdom, breathing it into your heart center, allowing and receiving it into the core of your being. The truth of your soul's encoded wisdom is now expanding into the wisdom of all. Allow yourself to receive the wisdom of the totality of who you are and of all that is. And in this expanded space of your soul's deepest wisdom, All that is not truth has already been healed. In this space, you are now being offered an upgrade and a clearing of any remaining unworthiness and lack consciousness. Look back at the version of yourself with your mind's eye, seeing yourself in this meditation, in this moment, here and now, and send to yourself the frequencies of abundance and of worthiness. Send yourself the frequencies of the totality of the truth that you truly are. And allow yourself to receive them and expand and release any old consciousness, any lack consciousness, just letting that dissolve into the light, knowing that the light is filling the place where that used to be. There is no need for you to have that anymore. Scan yourself and recognize any and all places that may still be holding residuals of any lack consciousness, any separation from truth, and any part of you that's still believing in unworthiness, no matter how tiny or minuscule it is. This is your opportunity now to heal the lack matrix for yourself, for your soul lineage, for all of your lineage forward and backward, for all of time, dimension, space, and reality. Sending now the frequencies of prosperity, abundance, your soul's inheritance, your soul's wealth, the truth of your being, the truth of the totality of your wholeness. Receiving that now, expanding into the light, allowing yourself to release all old negativity and lack, letting it go, surrendering it to the light, breathing through it, allowing it to go, allowing it to release for yourself, your lineage, all time, space, dimension, and reality, releasing it for all the light workers, releasing it for all the ascension, releasing it for Gaia, all of nature, the animals, the oceans, the earth is ascending in this consciousness. We are paving a pathway to light the way for everyone who's ready to go. We release lack. We release the lack matrix across all time, dimension, space, and reality for all of our lineage, forward and backward. We reclaim the light for ourselves and our lineage and the light workers. We step into the truth of our worthiness, our wholeness, our oneness with the divine. This is our 5D. I choose 5D. I choose higher consciousness for myself and my lineage across all time, dimension, space, and reality now. I own this light for myself and this entire reality matrix. I choose the light. I am the light. Repeat it within yourself out loud if you want to. I am the light. I hold the light. I hold the ascension frequencies, and I expand into my truth, the truth of oneness, the truth of who I really am. The truth is that we are one with Gaia. We are one with all light beings. We are a community of light ascending this reality together. Know it and feel it and breathe it into your heart, and now allow your heart to activate to a higher frequency. Align your heart with the fifth dimension and above, the highest level of light that you are able to hold for yourself, your lineage, and Mother Gaia and this planet, for Central Sun, for this entire universe. We expand the light now, and we take back this matrix for the light. and breathe. Breathing that into your human being. Allowing your body to receive these frequencies. Allowing the alignment to the highest light that you are able to hold in your truth and choice in this moment. Allowing your heart to calibrate to this new level of light. Breathing and feeling yourself realign, aligned fully with the divinity of the truth of who you are and the empowerment of what you have just received and done for yourself and for all that is. And now it's time to bring your presence back to that space where you met your higher self on the other side of the Stargate. Bringing your presence in alignment with your higher self. Offering gratitude to your higher self and to the light for this upgrade and clearing that you have received. Good, and now in that energy of gratitude, it's time to move back through that Stargate portal into the facet of the diamond, into your diamond heart, bringing your presence back into your heart, into the diamond light, and recalibrating the frequency that you've brought back with you, recalibrating in oneness, breathing into your heart center, feeling that upgrade, just being there. Very good. And just take as many breaths as you need to, feeling your empowerment, feeling the knowing that you have cleared the lack matrix. It is not with you anymore. There is opportunity all around you in every moment. It is up to you to open the door as opportunity presents itself. And know that opportunity, creativity, inspiration is all around you. You will thrive through this time. You will uplift so many others. You already have in doing this work. Every center of your body is now filled with the diamond light and the ascended frequencies that you have just received. And now I'm going to count you. We're going to come back to that bottom step where we began, at the bottom of the stairs. And I'm going to count you back up. We're going to start at number 1 at the base of the stairs where we originally walked down at the start of this meditation. And as you walk back up, I'm going to have you become more and more aware. And when we get to the top of this staircase, you will be fully present again and aligned with these new frequencies. Number 5, you're at the base. Number 1, you're at the base of the stairs, knowing that it's time to come back and bring these frequencies and this ascended energy with you. Number 2, moving up into awareness, aligning and calibrating, becoming more aware with each step. Number 3, bringing your full presence back with you, fully into your body, your breath, your light. Number 4, you're ascending, you're getting more present and stronger and clearer, and your truth is fully present with you. And number 5, at the top of the stairs, fully awake and aware and present and lightened in this new frequency, this ascended frequency of truth and prosperity and light and clearness and focus. And you know in your heart what your soul's purpose is. And just let yourself now be fully present, fully aware. Open your eyes when you're ready. And welcome back. You might need a minute if you went really deep in that meditation to recalibrate, drink some water. You might feel tingly. I'd actually love to open up the phone lines, and well, I'm not going to open them all up. If you have something you'd like to share or say about that, it actually helps everyone get more present if you share something about what you experienced. So if I have someone that wants to, can you unmute yourself and speak?
That was amazing. I had many yawns, many deep yawning. I had an emotional point where I was crying, and some deep coughing as well. Okay. And I felt my body shake. I was definitely getting some visuals of light, and just really kind of took my vibrations to the next level. I'm still kind of chattering in my voice. Just really released and let it happen, and stayed with my breath. And yeah, lots of yawning till the 5th step, just clearing that negative energy from my being. So that was amazing. Thank you so much, Waxéla.
Wonderful. It's my pleasure. I don't know who that was speaking, but
That was Jeremy.
Jeremy. Jeremy. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I really, really appreciate that.
Good. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself again.
Okay. Thanks.
Love you all. Love you all.
Anyone else want to share something that you experienced?
Hi, Waxéla. This is Debbie.
It's wa-shay-la. Hi, Debbie.
Hi, I'm sorry, wa-shay-la. That was awesome. I felt the energy. I can't even explain. I just want to go back to that feeling. It felt so good. I didn't want to leave. It was so incredible. It really was. Thank you. I really appreciate that activation.
My pleasure. Thank you for doing it. Thank you all for doing this. And you know, I had a script, which I obviously didn't stick to at some point because I was taken over. But wow, I felt the work that you were all doing, that we were doing together in that transformation. I mean, I really, really felt it. That was powerful.
I felt it all over my body. It was amazing. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else? I'm going to share something from your experience. I'll also open up now for questions. Anybody has a question?
Hi, wa-shay-la.
Hi, who am I talking to?
This is Michael. How are you?
Hi, Michael. Wonderful. How
Namaste. Thank you so much for that incredible experience. I want to thank you for everything that you do. You are absolutely a beautiful angel. And I thank you for your guidance and your connectivity. I don't know where I was during that minute, but I wasn't here in my body. And then, of course, funny thing happened. The landscapers outside, and I just completely tuned them out. I just had a little laugh that the Matrix was playing games.
It does that.
Tuned them out, and actually, when I opened my eyes, I forgot I was in my living room because I was in the 5th dimension somewhere.
Yeah.
So I thank you for that. I thank you for everything.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. All right. Anyone else? Questions also? Open to. I see some things in the chat. My eyes are still a little fuzzy from all of that. It's mostly thank yous, and you're all welcome. Thank you all for doing that.
I'll share. I don't mind. Janelle here.
Hi, Janelle.
I felt everything. I felt tingling all over my body. I have little twitches randomly throughout my body. It was extremely visual, one of the most visual things I've experienced. I could see and feel the light. I could see my future self filling my body with light, and it was so cool. And I could see, really, I was just crying, and I just said thank you to my old self. And I'm like, I feel lifted. I feel different. I feel a little lightheaded,
Yeah.
but I feel amazing. It was absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thanks for participating and sharing. All right. Anyone else? Questions too? I'm open for questions.
Hi, this is Michael again. I have a question. What is Sarasota like? I'm in West Palm.
What is it like?
Yes, is everything shut down?
A lot of things are shut down. The schools are currently saying they're going to be closed till the 14th of April, but it changed. There's some grocery stores open. The weather's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Sure, that's why I moved here.
Oh, are you in Sarasota?
No, I'm in West Palm Beach. That's why I moved to Florida.
I got it. Yeah. I guess you wouldn't be asking me how it was if you were here. Yeah, but the weather's beautiful. I heard a lot of the beaches are closing, but we can probably still find a private area to go enjoy the ocean.
I wanted to take a trip there to Sarasota from West Palm, take a ride after watching your interview with Christoph.
Yeah.
Talking about the powerful portals.
Yes, and that it's a city of light. And if you walk Siesta Key, it's really powerful energy. Really, the whole Gold Coast is powerful, but Sarasota is a hub for sure.
I remember you saying that you can't throw a stone without hitting a light worker.
A shell, right? Yeah, there are a lot of light workers here, which is really fun. A lot of community, beautiful people. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you. Anything else?
I have a question, Kirsty.
Okay, Kirsty. Hi.
Hi, honey. Thanks for sending me a message this morning. I didn't get the email, but I definitely needed to be here. I was writing this morning. I'm doing an abundance meditation, and it was I was like, oh, I have a block around money. And then I said, okay, and I got one of my angel cards said, be honest with yourself. And I'm like, why do I keep getting this card? What am I not seeing? And I said, okay, I'll just be open to the messages. And right away it said, call wa-shay-la. And you said, oh, I'll see you here on the Zoom. And so thank you for that. The message came through really clear, and I felt during that meditation in my heart, like I can still feel the pressure or expansion, or I don't know what it is. And so yeah, that was I'm definitely experiencing it physically through my body. And I guess one of the things that I heard was like, I'll know my right purpose, and I don't know if where, do I just kind of in that meditation stay open to what the next message is? Because I'm in this kind of that transition between doing what I love and knowing that there's something bigger and something next. And so I guess that's my question. And I don't know if that contributes to the group at all. How do we take that, and what's the next kind of
Thank you for that.
Place for that to expand into? I don't know if it's just listening more and continuing to journal and meditate, but that's my question for you.
Well, you are so tuned in. I mean, just the fact that you messaged me 2 hours before this and said, hey, I feel like I'm supposed to connect with you. I don't know why. Here's the link. Show up. You're so tuned in. You are tuned into your purpose. And I think for you, it's a matter, and for probably a lot of people on the call, trust what you're receiving. Look how you trusted that message to reach out. You were meant to be here today. Obviously, you know, you're in the journaling process, but what you really also want to pay attention to is what lights you up. We don't use that term accidentally. What do you love doing? What brings you the most joy and inspiration and creativity, and what's fun for you? What do you have boundless energy for? That's your purpose. That's why you feel that way about those things. Start to make a list. Like, what is it that when I do it, I'm just in love with life? And when you can get a list of 5 of those things and look at it and put them together and be like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, it becomes really clear. But it's so important to like feel yourself, feel your heart, and you know, you can make it up. You were put here to do something very powerful, and I know you're very spiritual and aligned and attuned and intuitive, and I feel like, I mean, what I feel like is you already know what it is, and it's just a matter of you saying yes then, or you know, it's probably cleared a lot. Like, we tell ourselves, oh, I couldn't possibly do that. When I was in psychic readings, my guidance said, go tell people you're psychic. I'm like, I can't do that. I lived in Iowa at the time. I can't do that, but I did. And you know what? My readings tripled or quadrupled. So you can do that thing that you didn't think. And here's what I'm talking about. When the door will present itself, the opportunity will present itself. It's going to be everywhere after this meditation. You're all going to experience doors in front of you, but you have to open it. It's not going to push you through in most cases. Sometimes it might, but you need to open the door and walk through. You do the step. You see the opportunity. If it lights up your heart, say yes. Do it, even if you don't know how you're going to make it work. Find the thing that lights you up and do that, and just pay attention to what that is. It will all become clear. Does that help?
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Questions, feedback? This is your time. Yeah.
Do you hear me?
I can hear you. Who am I talking to?
I'm Hanneke from Holland.
Monica from Holland. Hi, Monica.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very excited about everything you said, and yeah, the interviews you gave, and the meditations. I'm very glad with all of that. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else?
I wouldn't mind getting some clarity on one thing that happened to me as of late. This
Sure.
is Jeremy again. I actually had a pretty transcendental interactive dream where I met like 6 different beings. One's name I remember was UE. And I even remember getting to the point of where I was like, where am I? Where am I? This is too real. I don't know where I am. And I asked them, you know, where are we? And they literally said, I'm like, what state are we in? And they're like, the state of Sanusky. And I'm like, oh, like Sandusky, Ohio, or something like that. But ended up, no, they were like, this is Sanusky. And I'm like, okay. And then I asked them, what country are we in? And then they said, American Eagle. And after that, I was like, can you say that again? So we're in Sanusky of American Eagle. And at that point, I remember kind of getting a lot of fear, and like, because it was so real. I was touching these people like as if I was touching one of my clients. And I remember just being overcome with fear and saying, I don't want to leave my wife and life behind and stay here. I have a life and wife. And I just didn't know if that's ever happened to anybody else or something like that, but pretty much the most vivid interactive dream I've ever had. And I just remember the planet being filled with so many plants plant life. And I don't know if that's just the places that the mind goes, but yeah, just maybe seeking some clarity on like, if that's where we're supposed to go, if that's the stuff that's to come, is that a part of the ascension process, or what?
Yeah, I'd love to comment on that. So that's a powerful dream. And okay, so gosh, there's so many layers to that. You're not alone. Lots of people have these types of experiences. I love that it happened for you during your dream time. And you're getting such clarity with the words, and so like one of the things you commented on is that they were so real. When you're having a mystical experience that's of a higher dimension or a higher frequency, usually it will feel more real than this reality.
It
So
did.
did you experience that?
Yes,
Yeah.
to the point.
So clearly, the reason for that is because it's a higher frequency, there's more information available to you. So actually what you're doing, and we all do this during dream time, it's this, most of us aren't conscious of it most of the time, but you are going out and interacting with, with other beings, with the higher selves of people that you're going to meet or have met or are working with. So this is part of what we do during our dream time. And as the veil thins, as you ascend your frequency, as you do your spiritual work, this isn't true for everyone, but some people will have experiences like that one, mystical experiences or dreamtime experiences where you consciously remember interacting with these other beings. What I'm seeing is that these are beings in a soul group, that a lot of times we come in soul groups of 12. And many of us are like the one that comes in from our group of 12, and then they feed us information and help us along the way do the purpose that we came here to do, or serve the purpose that we came here to serve. And they're the ones that are gonna like meet with you in your dream time and make sure that you do what you need to do to accomplish whatever mission or task or goal that you're here to do. So I would, if I were you, what I would do is continue. If you see them again, start to ask them questions. Start to, interact with them more, trust them more, and allow yourself to just really interact and know that it's sometimes, and I know that fear that can creep in, like, oh my gosh, what's happening here? I've experienced that many times. So you take yourself out of it when you go there. But if you can become more and more conscious and interact with them and talk to them, have some questions, lined up that you want to ask, you can get a lot of information and clarity on your purpose. And again, I want to reiterate, if you meet a being in dream time or wake time meditation anywhere, where it feels like, where you're questioning, is this of the light? Is this a high frequency being or not? Project love from your heart. And if they are of the light, they're going to project it back to you. And if they're not, they'll go away because they'll be uncomfortable in that. The activated human heart is the most powerful thing. It's the most powerful thing. So trust yourself, and that's great. What a wonderful experience.
Okay, well, yeah, that made a lot of sense, and I'll be sure to kind of think about the 12 different beings that are here looking after me and helping me on my mission. So that was a lot. Thank you so much, wa-shay-la. You're amazing. You're amazing. I can't thank you enough for all that you are and what you bring to this earth. I'm very grateful for your existence. So thank you so much. That cleared up a lot for me. Thank you. Makes me feel a lot safer.
Okay, does anybody else have a question or comment? Something you want to share? And there's some things coming through the chat. We have a few more minutes if anyone wants to share anything from your experience, wants some understanding of something that happened, or anything really.
wa-shay-la, it's Michael again.
Hi, Michael.
Hi there. Question, I was just thinking about this, and I think you answered it, but the question was, how do we distinguish if it is a being from the light or if it is the dark masking itself as the light? Because from my understanding that there's a lot of that going on, misleading,
Well, yeah.
misguiding.
I mean, first of all, you have to trust yourself. And as you learn to hold more and more light and practice, the heart, practice living from your heart, practice using your golden column of light, you will be able to feel that frequency differently. I know that I am always protected. I think somebody's got some background noise. Maybe that's okay. I am always protected in the light, and I'm not concerned about it. That doesn't mean I never get startled or scared by something, but just know that you are always divinely protected, and you just want to make sure that you're, do that projection of, like practice it ahead of time where you project love from your heart. And so if something does show up and it's not, you can feel the frequency difference. Just practice doing that, but you want to come from your heart, not your head, because your head is what questions. And ultimately, it's good to remember that we all came from the same place. And there are people acting out an quote unquote evil plan, but they came from the same place too. And we're all going to end up in the same place. Some of us are just going to take longer to get there.
That gentleman talking about his dream reminded me of a dream that I had about 20 years ago that it was so real and it sent shockwaves through my whole entire beingness. There was a being in front of me, and I remember it was communicating with me through telepathy. It was, the mouth wasn't moving. And I remember feeling like I wasn't believing what was going on. And that the thought was, I'm going to get inside your head. And I remember in the dream, I had a smirk on my face, like, yeah, okay. And then all of a sudden, boom, they were inside me, inside my head. And I remember probably a couple of seconds after that, I jumped out of the bed. It was such a frightening experience. But of course, 20 years ago, I wasn't awake like I am now. And I just kind of wrote it off to a scary dream or nightmare. But now I'm thinking there's something a little bit more than that.
Yeah, there are lots of things that could be. It could have been a consciousness, kind of playing with you. It's hard to know exactly, like from this perspective, what was going on. I'd need to know maybe a little bit more about it, but I don't think that's really important. When I create that entity attachment clearing soundtrack, I would recommend listening to that. I'd recommend everybody listen to it, because we all pick things up, especially the light workers, as we go through our process. The more light you hold, the more attractive you are to an attachment that wants to cross over to the light, because they're like, oh, there's a way I can get there, even though it's subconscious. So our greatest service to them is to be able to cross them over. So this soundtrack is going to be for individuals as well as your clients or other people that you encounter that might have an attachment. They're open to listening to this and clearing it. But you can also do this work on your own. Just, like, scan your body, go into meditation, scan yourself and feel. And the more embodied you get, the more in your body, the presence you bring in, versus so many spiritual people are kind of hanging out up here in our higher chakras. But the more in you get, the more you're able to really sense when something isn't quite right, or feel when something is with you that shouldn't be with you, or that isn't of your vibration. So you can clear those things. So empower yourself to be embodied and know, like, scan yourself. And then you can also ask your guidance or your higher self to assist you in releasing any attachments, energies, entities, anything that is with you that's not serving your highest good and the highest good of all at this time, to be released and cleared to the light. Call in its angels and loved ones and let it go, and let your guidance take it to the light. Does
Thank
that
you.
make
Yes. I didn't think of it like that, but I guess I am an attachment magnet.
Well, you know, I'm not saying that you have an attachment now, but when and
Not on me. I draw others.
yeah, yeah, just get good at that. Practice that because
As a
if they come into you, then you got to be able to clear them.
as a therapist for 25 years, as some friends of mine said that I attract train wrecks.
Yeah, it's probably a version of that. You're attracting something that needs to be cleared and thinks that you can help it. So shamanism teaches how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the process. It's really not that hard. It's pretty simple.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have another question.
Okay, who is it?
This is Debbie again.
Hey, Debbie. Hi, go ahead.
Hi. A few years ago, I was sleeping and I got this huge download where I was receiving symbols from the universe, from every country coming into my third eye. But I mean, it was going on for a while. I couldn't believe every kind of symbol and things that were coming into me. And I was aware they were coming and I was awake while I was dreaming. But somehow I got a little freaked out and I woke up in the middle. And I'm wondering, did I miss the whole download? I called it a download and I didn't even know that's what it was at the time. And I'm wondering, because I woke up in the middle, did I not receive all of it?
My advice to you there would be, first of all, you do remember it, so that's great. It's okay. Sometimes you will wake up in the middle so that you will remember it. Because if if you didn't wake up, you probably wouldn't remember it at all, right? But you can go back into meditation when you're conscious and aware and put yourself in that memory and ask, is there more here for me to receive? What else is there for me to experience, see, know, or download from this experience? And then, have a journal with you, see what you receive, write it down. You can try automatic writing, but just be open to whatever shows up. And it might not even show up in that moment. It might show up, later or in a dream, but, revisiting it, you can do that on your own terms. Too, and that's something that I have done occasionally in the past. I'm someone who's been visited by entities and beings that sometimes scare me, and they've almost always been benevolent and offering me something. But I will get in my head and take myself out of the experience because it startles me, or because I start thinking and then I take myself out. So when that has happened in the past, I will go back and meditate and say, okay, this time come in my third eye vision. You don't have to come in the physical or, be too present, but they can transmit through, telepathically if you're in an open space for it. And so if I ever do that, I always go back and check in and say, I actually will say, I know I misbehaved there because I jumped up and turned the lights on and ran out of the room. But so I go back and apologize and send gratitude for what they were attempting to share with me and say, I'm ready now, but I like to do things on my terms. And so I'll tell them, this is how it's going to work for me. One time I had 12 beings around my bed and they really scared me, but they had a gift for me. They wanted to offer me something and they had some information to share. So I said, okay, the next day, I said, you can send one to represent all of you and come in my meditation, not at night, and to scare me, So I went and meditated and got what I needed to get. And that's how I handle it. So you can always go back, it's time is not real. You can insert yourself into a different part of the timeline and get everything that you need.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, this is Sergi from Barcelona, Spain.
Hey, Sergi. I'm glad you're
Hello.
here.
I'm sorry I missed because I think that you guys changed the time in the US.
A while ago, yeah.
Yeah, because I came an hour later.
I'm sorry. Well, we'll get you the replay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You said one sentence that really my whole body said yes. When you said we need to anchor ourselves or embody ourselves in the physical body instead of going out.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's really, this is key, because the way I understand it is we bring these high frequencies down here.
Yes.
We don't want to go back to source again. We are here in a mission, right? And then it's like bringing down, we need to be in the body. Thank you very much.
Yes. Yes, thank you for bringing that up. And I am also an embodiment coach. So part of my work is to have people get in here, and the best way to do that is through the heart center. Because yeah, as spiritual people, and particularly empaths, we get scared out of the body, kind of, you know, a lot of trauma, a lot of stuff happens, it's not safe, it doesn't feel comfortable. We accumulate a lot of baggage in here, and then we end up, you know, hanging out up in the higher chakras, but we're ineffective. And it's hard to manifest anything in this reality when we're not embodying, when we're not in our body. So the more we can get in here, the more success we can have in all areas of our life, in our relationships, in our business, in our abundance, in our manifestations, because we have to be physically present, or I mean, our spirits have to be in the physical body and present in order to manipulate this reality that we're in. And so that's why, for me, getting activated into the heart center is so important, because, well, first, clearing trauma and releasing things, that's important, so that you have more space for light to come in, more space for yourself to be present in your body. But with the heart center, you can travel in the portal of the heart and get to all the places you can get to by being up here, but it's inside of you. So when you bring those frequencies back into the heart, you're embodying them, you're holding them, you're walking around, you're walking on the earth, and the earth is receiving them. You're interacting with other people, and they're receiving them. So you are an embodiment of those frequencies, and that is what we all must do to experience the ascension process.
Yeah, and it's safer.
Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Much love from Barcelona.
Thank you. Sending you love too.
Bye.
Bye. All right. We are out of time, but if somebody has something pressing, I will do one more. Anyone else want to jump in? Last chance. Okay, I'll take that as a no. So I just want to thank you all so very much for being here, for doing this meditation, for doing this work. If you're here and you're still here, then I know that, you know, you are one of the ascension frequency holders here on this planet. You are here to help shift consciousness and shift this reality into a higher vibration. And so I really want to empower you. Just be the light, be the consciousness, the higher consciousness for people at this time as they're struggling. You know, be compassionate, be heart-centered, you know, serve through your heart, do your purpose work, and just be love. We are love, and ultimately that's what it's all about. We are going to make the greatest change by being in our heart centers and sending out love to all the other beings, whether they're humans, animals, nature, spirits, celestials, ETs. Just send them love. Even the attachments that we don't want, cross them over to love. Love opens all doors. Love opens all doors. It is the key that opens all doors. So just when in doubt, project love, and know that you are bigger than any fear. Your heart and your love can overcome anything that you're confronted with. Okay, everybody, with that, I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much. I'm just sending you all love and blessings, and namaste. Bye-bye.